Welcome back to another Gambino Gaming video. We are back on Madden 25 doing another community-led video choice voted on you by the community. So if you're not voting in the community tab, you need to get your life together. But today we are doing the Arizona Cardinals 3-year team simulation. They are currently a 78 overall. They got a 79 offense and a 77 defense. Some of their highlighted players are Buda Baker, James Conner, Trent McBride, Jay Thompson, and Will Hernandez. They have 4 hidden devs, 0 X Factor, 1 superstar, 11 star, and 58 normal. They are 19th in passing, 30th in rushing. Blocking is 23rd, pass coverage is 29th, coverage is 28th, team speed is 12th, and they have $35.1 million. So let's go ahead and jump into the Cardinals and let's see what happens. We'll go ahead and simulate to mid-season and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and simulate to mid-season and I will be right back. All right, so at the halfway point, the Arizona Cardinals are 3-4, which is pretty good. They are third in their division, tied with the San Francisco 49ers. They have the leading sack leader, but that's about it. If we go and we look at stats, how's Kyler doing? He's got 1,257 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's pretty bad. 64% completion rating. On the rushing ground, James Conner's got 358, 3 touchdowns. He's fumbled once. Kyler's got 211 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey Benson's got 113 yards, 2 touchdowns, no fumbles. Michael Carter's got 35 touchdowns, 35 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. Receiving, MHJ's got 451, 3 touchdowns. Trey McBride's got 277, 2 touchdowns. Zay Jones has got 244, 2 touchdowns. Michael Wilson, 170, no touchdowns. Trey Benson, 46, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 43, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 9 receptions, 43 yards, 1 touchdown. He's got, his first name is Tip, 13 yards. Michael Carter's got 7. Elijah Higgins has got 6. Our tackle leader is Kazir White. Never heard of him. Our sack leader is Zaven Collins, and then Dennis Gardeck, and then Darius Sharman with half a sack. Interceptions, Kazir White, and then Garrett Williams. Forced fumbles. Kazir White's been killing it, and Zaven Collins. So we are at the halfway point, and we're 3-4. If you look at the rest of their schedule, so they lost to the Rams, they lost to the Commanders, they lost to the Packers, and they lost to the Chargers. So they still have the Dolphins, the Bears, the Jets, the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Seahawks again, the Patriots, the Panthers, and the Rams, and the 49ers. So they got to kind of split down the middle in difficulty when it comes to their schedule. So I'll go ahead and simulate the rest of this, and I'll see you guys going into the playoffs. So going into the playoffs, they finished 7-10, and I don't think they made the playoffs. They did not make the playoffs. The playoffs, we will see these teams: the Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, Raiders, Dolphins, Jaguars, Ravens, Falcons, Eagles, Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Vikings, Cowboys. But that's not why you're here, and that's not what we're doing. So if we go over here, did we have anybody finish in the top anything? No, we did not have anybody finish in the top anything. If we look at our stats and our awards, Kyler finished with 2,932 yards, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 65% completion rating. James Conner finished right under 1,000 with 6 touchdowns and 1 fumble. Kyler 461, 4 touchdowns. Trey Benson 288, 10 touchdowns. Wow. Michael Carter 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. On the receiving side, Marvin Harrison didn't get 1,000, which they're going to want to try to get him 1,000. 792, 5 touchdowns, 665, 6 touchdowns, 661, 6 touchdowns, 539, 2 touchdowns, 150, 2 touchdowns, 65, 1, 25, 0, 18, 17. And then on the defensive side, our final leading tackler was Kazir White with 116. Our leading tackle sack leader was Dennis Gardeck with 9.5. Zaven Collins with 6.5. Darius Robin with 1.5, and Bilal Nichols with 1. Interceptions, they was getting it after. Zaven Collins with 2, Kazir White with 2, Garrett Williams with 2, Max Bell with 1, Chris Barnes 1, and Buda Baker with 1. And on the forced fumbles side, we finished with 2 with Zaven Collins and Kazir White. So year 1, they finished 7-10. Last year they definitely wasn't 7-10. So if we go ahead and you guys let me know if you care to see who wins the Super Bowls in these, because typically they're here just based on the team of the week, which this week is obviously the Cardinals. But we'll go ahead and get over here and look at this. So we got the Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Jags, Eagles, 49ers, Seahawks, Cowboys. Josh Allen finally beat Patty. This is the highlight of that. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. So if we go ahead and we advance to the next week, I'll just go ahead and let y'all watch this. If we look at the playoff bracket, we have the Bengals versus the Bills, Cowboys, Eagles. That's a pretty good matchups. And then if we advance to the next week, it's just going to take us to the Pro Bowl. Cowboys, Bengals in the Super Bowl. I hate seeing the Cowboys and I hate seeing the Bengals both in the Super Bowl because I hate both of those teams very much so. If you want to get a good look at what the playoffs look like, I'll move myself to the center. And that's what the breakdown looked like for the playoffs for this year. So if we go ahead into the year number 2, I guess we got to simulate through the Super Bowl too. Did it simulate through the Super Bowl? Nope, we're still not at the Super Bowl. Oh my god. Gosh, my eye's itching. So we see the Cowboys beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, and CeeDee Lamb was the MVP. Dak won MVP of the year. Zach Taylor won Coach of the Year. CeeDee won Offensive Player of the Year. Michael Parsons wins DPOY. Keon Coleman wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Elgin Cooper wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right, so going into year 2, they finished 7-10 last year, and then let's see how much they progress or regress going into year number 2. So this is what our roster looks like going into year 2. Trey McBride is our best player, then Jalen Thompson, Marvin Harrison, Sean Murphy Bunting, Paris Johnson, Kyler Murray, Trey Benson, Michael Wilson. We still got Desmond Riddler, Clayton Tune. James Conner isn't here anymore. They don't have a fullback. Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson. 2 guys who don't have face scans. Trey McBride, Tip Ryman, Elijah Higgins, Paris Johnson, Isaiah Adams, John Gaines at second, Lance Monk, who I guess they drafted, Jonah Williams, no face scan, Juan Correa, Darius Robinson, LaShawn Forney, Nathan Brown, Mac Wilson. Looks like whatchamacallit's no longer here. Cameron Thomas, Sean Murphy Bunting. The team definitely did not get much better. They got Jalen Thompson, no strong safeties. Andrew Mevis is the kicker. Blake Gillikin is the punter. Looks like they didn't get any better at all. Looks like Zaven Collins is there. They are 74, 75, 73 going into this preseason. So if we go to mid-season, to see how well they do. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. So in year 2 at the halfway point, they are 2-5, which is definitely not ideal. Definitely for Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison's sake. So they beat the Falcons, lost to the Texans, beat the Saints, lost to the Seahawks. So they're on a 4-game losing streak. Lost to the Rams, lost to the Seahawks, and lost to the Titans. If we look at their stats, how is Kyler performing? 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions is awful. He's been sacked 13 times. Desmond Ritter's getting a little bit of tick. Trey Benson, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, no fumbles. Kyler, 173, no fumbles, no touchdowns. This guy has got 93 yards, 4 touchdowns. Damn, what the hell is up with some of these touchdowns? Tip's got 19 yards, and Desmond's got 15. Um, Michael Wilson's the leading receiver with 435 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then Laviska Shenault with 326, 3 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison at 306, no touchdowns. Trey McBride's got 241, 1 touchdown. Trey Benson 47. Tip 35. Amari 34. And on the defensive side, our leading tackler is Mac Wilson. Sack leader is Juan Correa. Owen Pepe, or Pape, oh, I don't know. I'm not going to butcher that man's name. Cameron Thomas and Bilal Nichols all tied with 1. Interceptions, James Thompson's got 3. Matt Wilson's got 2. Owen's got 1. Elijah's got 1. Garrett's got 1. Then forced fumbles, 1 with Juan Correa. Definitely not an ideal mid-season for this team going forward. Anthony Richardson is the leading pass yard right now, about 6 yards over some guy named Jay Bass. David Secretary is the leading rusher. C.D. Lamb. T.J. Watt's up there for sacks. We got the second guy for interceptions, but it's not really meaning nothing for losing games. So we'll go ahead and send him to the playoffs, and I'll be back. So if you see on your screen, they finished 2-15. 2-15, which means they didn't win a game for the rest of the year. So we go to our stats. Kyler finished with 2,700 yards again, 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. It's horrible. Sacked 39 times. That means the offensive line was garbagio. Benson 774, 2 touchdowns. Kyler 389, 2 touchdowns. This guy killed the touchdowns. 229, 9 touchdowns. That dude was a fantasy demon. Tip Reeman 229 yards, 1 touchdown, and then Desmond Ridder 23 yards. Michael Wilson finished as the leading receiver with 783, 6 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison 781, 3 touchdowns. Laviska Shenault 627, 4 touchdowns. Trey McBride 612, 1 touchdown. Trey Benson 220, no touchdowns. No touchdowns for this guy, 1 for Tip, and none for Elijah. On the defense, we saw Mac Wilson finish as our leading tackler. Sack leader was Juan, then Mac, tied with Owen and Levi. And then 2.5 for BJ, 1 for Nathan, 1 for Darius, 1 for Cameron, 1 for Bilal, and a half a sack for Dante Steele. On the interception side of the ball, Jalen Thomas finished with 5, Mac Wilson 2, 2 for Owen, 2 for Sean Murphy Bunting, 1 for Trevor, 1 for Garrett, and 1 for Elijah Jones. And on the fumble side, we finished with 4, 1 with Mac Wilson, 1 for Owen, 1 for Juan, 1 for Cameron, and that was it. So if I go ahead and put this down, they finished 2-15, which is awful. Just about as bad as the Bears did. But that video hasn't came out by the time this one did because I'm going to move it back. So if we go ahead and send him to the Super Bowl, send him ahead, I'll be right back. Playoff bracket looks like this. You got the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl 1 year removed from the last time. If my memory should be correct, I have short-term memory. Pause, look at the screen, see if your team made it. And then we'll go ahead and advance to see who wins the Super Bowl. So we have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes gets another MVP. Dak Prescott wins MVP again. Coach of the year was Andy Reid. Offensive player of the year was Isaiah Pacheco. Run hard. Michael Parsons goes back-to-back. Josh Austin and Jarek Stackhouse win Rookie of the Year for their side of the ball. Not real people, so they don't really matter. So we'll go on into the final year 3, and hopefully something good happens. I think I just seen that Keenan Allen was a Commander. So our roster looks like this. Marvin Harrison is our best player. Means Trey McBride is gone. We got a guy named Glenn Colvard. Collar's here. Desmond Ridder's gone. Trey Benson's still here. We got a new fullback. We still got these two dudes together. Tip is our full-time tight end now. Paris Johnson's still here. Offensive line is doo-doo water. Juan Correa is still here. So is Darius Roman and Steels. BJ still here. Mac Wilson, Owen. Sean Murphy Bunting. We still got a couple of the same guys from the defense from last year. Glenn Culver's actually a really solid safety rookie that they drafted. Probably first round pick 10 is which one they had at the beginning. So we go ahead and we will just go ahead and send them to the playoffs because they are 73, 72, 75. So they're not going to be any way better than they were last year. So they won one more game than they did last year, going 3-14 in the final year of this 3-year simulation. If we go look at our stats, how did our boy Kyler do? Almost 3,000 yards, more interceptions than touchdowns this year. 39 sacks is crazy. This dude Clayton Dune got in the game, threw 3 for 6, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. No 1,000-yard rusher. 687, 6 touchdowns, 457, 1 touchdown, 143, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, this team was bad. Still no 1,000-yard receiver. 700 between the two of these guys, 7 touchdowns between them. 502, 3, 420, 244, 1, 147, 66, 48, 26, 20. Then on the defense, 92 tackles. Our leading sacker was Juan with 6.5, 3 to Nathan Brown, 3 to Darius Robinson. 2 to Mike Kitchens, 1.5 to Mac Wilson, 1 to Bilal, half a sack for these 4 guys. Our interception leader was Mac Wilson. Then we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie between these guys with 1. And then forced fumbles, we didn't have any. Dang. So, 3 years in the future, Madden is predicting the Cardinals to be ass. 2 out of 3 years, 7-10 is not awful, but 2-15 and 3-14 is not good. If we go to our playoff bracket, this is what it looks like. Jets, Colts, Ravens, Chargers, Texans, Bengals, Chiefs with a bye. Cowboys with a bye. Vikings, Panthers, Buccaneers, Bears, Seahawks, Packers. If it makes you feel any better, Cardinal fans, the Steelers haven't been good within this simulation either. So, yeah, that makes me very sad. Makes me very sad, very sad. We advance to the next week. We'll see who won the Super Bowl this year, and I'll get you guys out. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Comment which team I should do next, and I'll get that video to you ASAP. So the Cowboys won the Super Bowl 34-3 over the Texans. Dak Prescott was the MVP. Patrick Mahomes won MVP again. Mike McCarthy, Patrick Mahomes, Christian Harris, and then some computer-generated guys. But yeah, 3 years into the future, Cardinals are ass. Sorry, Cardinal fans. Mike Evans retires. Khalil Mack retires. DeAndre Hopkins retires. And yeah, but all right. Peace.